you're live.
Are we live? Are we live? I don't see you live yet. You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Let me see. All right, we are here. Finally, welcome everybody to our live cooking show. Just kind of getting a few things set up real quick. Waiting for a few folk to get on. And had a couple of technical difficulties. I have another phone that I just got on yesterday. Is my head being cut off? Fighting Irish, welcome. Welcome, good morning to you. Good morning. All right, just trying to get some things set up before I get started. How's the sound? How's the video? How is the sound and video so far? Okay, I just heard myself. Yeah, it looks a little dark. It's a little dark. Should have kept it on. At least I can make some adjustments on the fly, right? It's not too bad. They got me on the computer and everything. All right, well, good morning to everybody. Welcome to our first live show here at Real Home Cookin. And what this program is going to be, what this live show is going to be, is actually pretty much a behind the scenes of what we do for our video program, our videos. And you're going to actually see behind the scenes how I capture the video, how I kind of set things up. And also, this is a food wishes request. So whatever someone has requested during the week, I try to prepare for here on this Friday show. So I think it's 2000 BC Caveman. He requested that I cook chicken and dumplings, and that's what we're doing today based upon his wish, that I create this meal. And so that's what's happening on today. We welcome you to the show. And if you have any suggestions or any food wish requests, please place them in the chat box, and then I will look through there. And if you're the lucky winner, give you that shout out as well. And so we welcome today so far already online. I've got Fighting Irish, I've got Steve O, and myself so far that have chatted already this morning. So welcome, welcome, welcome to this show today. I already have some chicken cooking, and I've got a whole chicken. Don't know if you can kind of see that. Got a whole chicken that's been cooking in there, and that's the chicken I'm going to be using for this meal. What I'm going to do is now take that chicken out, because we're going to debone that chicken, or take the chicken off the bone, and I'm going to keep all that precious stock that's in there. Now, this full recipe is going to be online as a traditional video like I do all the other ones. So just because I'm doing it live here, I'm also recording this, the segments of this, so that I can also put it as a regular video on our regular timeline as well. So you're kind of getting a behind the scenes look at what I'm doing at the other videos. So here I've got my 4 chicken that's fully cooked. And then I've got the stock there. Now, this stock has onions. It has the celery stalk, as well as celery ends that I cut off and put in there for a nice flavor. And then I have some bay leaves in there as well. So I'm going to pull those things out as well. Let me get a spoon, the right type of spoon with the strainer. I'm going to just take that. And for me, I'm just going to put it right down this garbage disposal over here. Because these big chunks of vegetables, I'm not really going to use again. If I use them again in there, it's just going to get real mushy. And we definitely don't want that. But I do want to save all of that stock. So Leah, if you come and, I've got my handy daughter here, and she's taking some video for me. So just take video of the chicken and the stock separated out, as well as you can just take a close-up shot of the stuff I put in the garbage disposal as well. I want to just first of all, this is my beautiful daughter here, and give her a shout out. We also want to give a shout out and a dedication to all the families that are hurting and suffering right now in Las Vegas. This horrendous situation that happened, I mean, it's still on our minds, as well as we should not forget about those that are suffering in Puerto Rico as well, and as well as Florida, as well as Texas, all these areas that have been hit by these hurricanes as well. So we want to keep them at the forefront of our minds. If you can donate to any of these causes, please, by all means, go ahead and donate to them as well. Something you guys may not know about me is that I am a pastor as well. And so our church is doing a blood drive for these events as well. So we want to keep them in our hearts and in our minds. Puerto Rico is one that we don't want to forget about as well. It's one that's a very close to my heart, being that my mother is Puerto Rican, and there is a lot of devastation on that island. I know you hear the news and everything's going well. Everything is not going well. There are a lot of places. Sometimes you only get the shots of San Juan, but there's a lot more to the island than just San Juan and what's going on there. But don't want to make this into a political thing or anything like that. But just keep all these areas that have been affected in your prayers. All right, I don't want to make this is a cooking show, so I'm going to get back to cooking. But good to see everybody out. I see Mrs. Smith is on the line. Miss Smith is on the line. That's my buddy, and she had a great part to play in this show right now. So here we go. All right, so I got my chicken. I am going to see. One of the things about cooking, keep your hands clean. Always continue washing your hands over and over again. But there is nothing wrong with using your hands. You will see me in many videos using your hands. Many people think that it's more sanitary to use gloves than it is to use hands. However, that's a fallacy, because it gives you a false sense of security. If you put gloves on your hands, you actually think you have this barrier and this protection that now all of a sudden you're touching a lot of different foods, cross-contaminating, things of that nature. You don't wash your hands with gloves. You know, the only thing you're supposed to do with gloves is after everything, you take it off and you throw it away and you put a new one on. But most people don't do that. They'll take the same gloves, and there's a false sense of security thinking that now all of a sudden now I can continue to touch other foods and things of that nature because I have gloves on. So I'm going to go ahead and actually pull this chicken down because it just came out of the pot. So I'm going to put it in some cold water just to cool it down for myself for the sake of this show. Normally I just let it cool down to its normal temperature. Leah, please get a picture of this right here. Oh, I'm going to add this is my chicken bouillon. I buy chicken bouillon by the giant size in bulk because I use it so much for everything. So I bought these nice little containers just for nice display. If you notice, I've got like a bamboo display here, and that bamboo display is there for because I first of all I painted my countertops. If you see my very first video, and then see probably the second or third video, I painted the countertops different color. Still didn't give me that pop that I really wanted, and so I found this mat, and so that's what I've been using now, and I really like just those natural colors, and it helps just to make things pop a little bit better. So eventually what I'm going to end up doing is just changing this whole island out and getting me probably a nice natural wood island, and that's where to go. But I don't have the money for that right now, so I got to wait on that. So what I do, I'm going to prepare, I'm going to cut up some of these vegetables. Now if you came in late, just want to remind you that all of this is going to be on the regular show. You're getting a behind the scenes look at what I'm going to be doing for my cooking video, for the chicken and dumplings cooking video. Once again, shout out to Caveman, who gave us this recipe, or not the recipe itself, but the desire for this chicken recipe. All right, so I've got an onion, I'm chopping up, and now I'm chopping up some carrots that I peeled, and I'm just cutting them into some nice chunks. If you saw my other video, I had what was the one I just did when I was cutting the celery with the little knife, the boning knife? What was the last video I just did? Oh, the chicken stuffed bacon wrapped chicken breast, and I was using the wrong knife, and I was too lazy to get another knife. When you got the right knife, you can cut right. But I was using the wrong knife, and because I was using the wrong knife, I couldn't do that. One day I'm going to show you some different cutting techniques, the different knives, and good chef's knife. It's got some weight on it. It's got the right way in which all you're really doing is just, you're not even lifting the knife off. You're just going up and down, and it's really weighted very well. I'm going to take a look and see what's on the, if there are any questions or anything like that. I see Dark Mark has showed up. Welcome. All right. Steve, thank you for posting this on some other Hangouts. And man, just good to see you guys online. All right. Cooking. What was it? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get these cut up as well. So all this is just a preparation, because what I like to do at the beginning of my videos, if you notice, the first shot that I take is a video of all my ingredients. Well, when I prepare to start cooking, is a shot of all the ingredients that I use. Occasionally, I end up adding some more ingredients. That's because the way I cook, I don't really cook from recipes. And I just cook. I love to cook. I know how to cook, and I get in there, and sometimes I adjust things as you go along. And that's a beautiful thing about cooking. You can make adjustments on the fly. If you think this needs a little more salt, you add a little bit more salt. If you think it needs a little more garlic powder, you add a little more garlic powder. You don't have to be so stuck on a recipe and the exact measure. When it comes to cooking, that is. Bacon's a different story. But when it comes to cooking, you don't have to be stuck on an exact amount of everything. Sometimes you want it to your taste. And so someone else's recipe may not be to your taste. So feel free to adjust the way I'm cooking it. you feel free to adjust it to the way you like it as well. All right. So, all right. So I got that. I'm now ready for my chicken. And all right, my chicken is cool. All right. So this is gonna be a little ugly. It's gonna be a little ugly. Because what I need to do is take this chicken off the bone. And I'm going to just put it onto this pot over here, and it's not going to look the prettiest. All right. So I'm just going to start out. I don't want any of the fat on the chicken, so I'm going to take off all the skin. And whoa, you didn't see that. So I'm just going to take the chicken right off the bone, put it right into this pot here. All right, make sure you don't get any of those bones in there as well, the small bones. Now, you could use, just if cooked chicken breasts, it would have made it easier. I don't necessarily like easy, I just like good. And, but if you're not really comfortable in the kitchen a lot, it would have been a lot easier just to get a couple chicken breasts and throw it in there, and then you can just do it that way. All right, so I'm taking off the skin. Don't need the skin. Remember, I had the stock that I cooked this chicken in right on the stove. I cooked it with some onions as well as with the celery stalk and the roots of the celery stalk as well. So here's the other chicken breast. And notice I'm not cutting it up. It's cooked. I'm just gonna kind of peel it in some chunks, and some nice thick chunks. Put it in there. All right. Can you stop the gum chew? They can hear that. All right. Almost done. So it's a full chicken, but once the chicken's cooked, doesn't take any time at all. If you got a dog, man, the dog gonna love you. Take all these bones and feed it to the dog. Dog will love you. All right, and also to the stock, I also added some salt and just some salt. That's all I did. Okay, she's taking some initiative here. I like it. I like it. Good deal. Okay, so I've got my chicken. Let me make sure I got all the pieces off. Pretty much. I'm not gonna get too anal with this, but all right, that's good enough. I don't have a dog, so this is going in the trash for me. I actually could have used that if I wanted to make another stock or soup or something like that, but don't need it. I'll start fresh again another day. All right, so I got my chicken. All right, so I'm gonna take this chicken. I'm just gonna plate it up. How long did I cook the stock? Okay, I cooked the chicken for an hour, but I cooked it in a pressure cooker. So I filled it up with water to the top of the chicken, and then I cooked it for it wasn't even an hour, probably about 45 minutes. About 45 minutes in there. So. All right, so here's the chicken off the bone. Leah, can you just give me the camera? All right, let me wash my hands. It is a beautiful day here on the East Coast. The weather is wonderful. And wherever it is in your side of the country, hope you're enjoying it. All right. So now I'm going to turn my stove on and get this stock boiling. All right. Let me get something that I forgot. Where is whipping cream? Thank you. So also some whipping cream. So here, let me just grab this. So now I'm going to just take a nice photo, a little capture of these ingredients here. And this is going to be on the program itself, on the video. And so what I like to do is I like to think as a director when I'm doing the commentaries, give myself enough time as I'm videoing to be able to talk over this. I'm just getting a lot of different screenshots of different things. Some of the stuff I don't use, some of the stuff I throw out, you know, but you want to take a lot of different things. There he is, 2000 BC caveman. He made it. He made it to the show. This recipe is because of you, buddy. So thank you for your food wish, for your Friday food wish, and hope that you're going to enjoy it as well. All right. So I've got my stock warming up right now. So while that's doing that, why don't we start making this dumpling? All right. Right now I have 2 cups of flour in here. Now the type of flour I'm using is self-rising flour. Self-rising flour already has baking soda in it. It already has your baking powder in it. It already has your salt in it, and so it's already mixed into that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some buttermilk to that. Let me get my measure. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of buttermilk to that. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of melted butter to that as well. And I'm going to add some parsley, about a tablespoon of parsley to that. Yeah, this is a new tin of parsley, so excuse me, about a teaspoon of parsley to that. Oh, Freedom, you got jokes today. Yep, that's what I do. I just cook, brother. I just cook. All right, and so now I'm just going to go ahead and mix. Now this is going to get a little messy, so I'm actually going to have to take this off because what I like to do, there's different people that like their dumplings different. Some people use canned dumplings. That's never been me. I'm not into the canned mix. Matter of fact, I don't even like the canned, what do they call it? The canned biscuits. Some people use canned biscuit mix. That's not anything that I like at all. I like fresh stuff. And then some people like the biscuits that, or the dumplings that are already made and frozen and all that. And you know, once again, if that's what you like, then that's what you like, and that's what you use. But I like freshly made, rolled out biscuits, and so that's what we're doing here. Right? I'm seeing that this just needs a tad bit of liquid, just a tad bit, not much. So I'm just going to add just a tad bit of this heavy. No, not. I'm going to stay consistent. I'm just going to add a tad bit more of this buttermilk. And when I said a tad bit, that really about a tablespoon. I didn't need a whole bunch. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear off this. You know what? We'll just let this sit for a second. this sit for a moment before we do anything else. All right, I'm gonna set this aside, wash my hands, and I'll be right back. I already know right now, I'm gonna need to add just a tad bit more. I added a tad bit, but I need to add a tad bit more. That's what, once again, that's what happens in cooking sometimes. Sometimes you can make adjustments on the fly if you know what you're looking for and you know what you're looking at. Do you want to plug this in? That way we know we got battery life. There we go. That looks a lot better, because the reason I want to make it just a tad bit wetter is because I'm going to be actually rolling this out, and I'm going to be flouring the surface, and I want to make sure that when I add that extra flour, that it's not going to make it too stiff, and it was already stiff as it was. So okay, that's a little bit better right there. It's a lot better actually. All right, so I'm going to just set that aside and let it rest a little bit. All right, and I'm going to clear this. I'm going to clear this area off. You know what we didn't do? I did not. Did you record any of this on this? Yeah. All right. Record it. Put the. I got so caught up on the live that I forgot that I'm also recording for the other show. So what I'm going to have to do is just, when everything's happened like that, what I end up doing is just kind of talking over and telling them what I did. So, come, yeah, there you go. Good, thank you. Well, you know what? I can actually probably capture some of the video off of that. No, because I'm looking at the screen. It didn't even capture the bowl or anything. So, just picture it seeing me stir. Picture it just seeing me stir. Yeah, I'm gonna have to edit. I'm gonna have to edit, Juju. Gonna have to. The beauty of editing. We can do everything in editing, huh? Maybe I can make flour reappear and the whole scene just start over again. I don't know if my editing skills are that great, but who knows? All right, I'm gonna clear this whole top. You know what? Before we do that, let's go ahead and add these vegetables and stuff right now. There, come on over. You know what? Might as well bring them over as well. Bring them over as we here. We're gonna bring you guys over so you can see what we're doing on this side. Yeah. All right. So I got my stock here. To that I'm going to add my onions, my carrots, and my celery. All right. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of the chicken stock, chicken bouillon. Going to add the chicken. What's wrong? Just tell me. Add the chicken to that. And I'm going to add a pint of heavy whipping cream. Ooh-wee! Yeah, that's rich. That is rich. All right. Now, because I'm just going to put this down to, well, you know, I do need to get it to a boil first before I put it down to a simmer. All right. Now I'm also going to add just a little bit of garlic powder to this. All right. Add a little bit of basil. I'm not measuring this time, Freedom. I'm just going to put that in. All right. About a teaspoon or two. And let me get my countertop ready. All right, come on. All right. All right, so now got my dough. I'm going to flour off my surface. Some people would just they'll drop them in, you know, spoonful by spoonful. I actually like to roll mine out. And that's why I said I wanted to make sure it was the exact right consistency. If you were just dropping it in there, it really probably wouldn't have mattered much, the consistency as much. But once again, I'm going to be rolling these out. I like the consistent shapes. So I'm going to put my dough right there. Just put some flour up on that. And a little more flour on top. So. Now, chicken and dumplings is one of those great comfort foods. I mean, who doesn't like chicken and dumplings? And if you get a real good bowl of this on a nice cold day, good stuff. Any day is good anyway, but especially then. All right, let me flour up my rolling pin, and I'm just gonna roll it out. Roll it out. Okay. Oh. All right, so this is gonna be a real weird one. So I put this out and I rolled it out. Alright. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a butter knife. Gonna get a butter knife and just make my cuts where I want. If you wanted to do some different shapes, you could do that if you wanted to. You know, I'm not really too concerned with shapes and things of that nature. I just let them dumplings. Let them dumplings. I don't know if you guys ever had oxtails, but I love to put this in my oxtail stew. I love to make dumplings and put it in my oxtail stew as well. Just a wonderful, wonderful thing. Kids love dumplings. A little bit of little messy, but you know, still good. Still good. All right, I got a couple jokes I was looking at online, and as I was cutting carrots, it said, "Did you hear about the carrot detective?" He says, "He got to the root of every case." Ah, yeah, I like that too. Yeah, I know you like it. I know you like it. How can you make a soup rich? Add about 14 carats to it. Yes, 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 yes. Should I keep going? Should I keep going? Stop. Not Leah. Go or stop. What should I do?
No, stop.
She told me to stop, so I'm gonna stop. All right. I kind of figured she would tell me. All right. So I got my hands off flour and I'm doing this video anyway. Just like a director. Boom. Okay, let me wash my hands. Any questions out there on anything so far? Cooking is easy. Any questions so far, Leah? You see anything? This smells good. Oh my, it smells so good. All right. So now's the fun part. Dropping these bad boys in. Here. I need you to. Okay, I'll give that. I'll give you my background, my cooking background in a moment. I have been cooking since I was a child. And got in the kitchen with Mom. Then my parents divorced, and we went to live with my father for a little while. That tastes so good, just like that, without adding anything else. Oh, and so I started cooking with my dad. I mean, as we were living with our dad, he made a thing. He said, whoever cooks, there was 3 boys in the house, and he said whoever cooks didn't have to clean. So since I didn't want to clean, I started cooking. And I just got a fondness of cooking as a result of just starting out and burning up a bunch of stuff in the kitchen. And as I grew up, I worked in a different restaurant. My first restaurant I worked in was at a Kmart. They had a little side restaurant at Kmart. I started cleaning pots and pans. And then after that, I decided I wanted to be a cook. I wanted to be a cook all along, but that was the only opening they had. And then finally one day, someone didn't show up, and I took over for them. And after that, they already knew I had ambitions to want to be a cook. I kept asking, but finally that opportunity was given to me. And after they gave me that opportunity, it was no going back after that. I graduated high school. I had no idea where I was going to go. I did want to go to culinary school. I had looked at Culinary Institute of America. I had looked at going to Johnson & Wales. And then in Philadelphia, there was the Restaurant School of Philadelphia. However, I didn't have any money to go to school. And so the Navy came knocking, and they told me they were going to send me to all the best schools, best culinary schools and everything in the world. And they lied. But I did go. I was a cook in the Navy. And I did get some good training. in the Navy. I was top of my class in the A school in the Navy. And then we, cooked. I remember I used to be able to cook. You see those dumplings cooking? Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. We're going to boil those dumplings for about 20 minutes. So you don't have to be here for the whole thing, but look at that. Look at those. Look at that. I mean, right now it looks good. It looks ready to eat right now, but no, it's going to cook down. Most of those dumplings are going to drop into there as they cook. I'm going to put this now down to a simmer. Okay. Woo! Ha ha! Man, that is going to be good. I'm going to give you the rest of the story now. Let's back this out, because the rest of this you guys are going to have to see on the regular show. What's that? How long to boil? Yeah, I already told you. We're going to boil those for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And then you can just try them out, test out a dumpling, see if it's tender and good. And what's going to happen is the starch is going to get into there. It's going to start thickening up, making a nice little gravy. If you actually want it a little bit thicker, you could get it a little bit thicker by just making a little slurry. If you wanted to take like 2 tablespoons of flour and water and whisk it together and then pour it in there and then whisk it when it goes inside, you could actually make it into a thicker as well. I don't think I'm going to need that, but you could do that if you really like thick chicken and dumplings. But because of the heavy whipping cream, you're not gonna need that, and as well as the amount of dumplings we put in there. All the starches that are gonna go get into that are gonna really make a nice gravy. So I'm gonna clear up my surface, because when that is finished, I'm gonna make a nice presentation to be able to make the ending part of the video, which is also the beginning part, which is the teaser to bring you in. And so you were asking about my cooking. So after the Navy, I started working at well, first of all, while I was in the Navy, got great experience in the Navy cooking. The Navy cooks are very well trained. We do go to some good schools and get good training. And at night, I was privileged enough to be able to run my whole kitchen. I used to be able to feed all the night crew, so I was in charge of creating my own menu, feeding everybody. So what I would do is, when I would come in at the night, whatever leftovers were, whatever food was left over from dinner, I would see whatever was left over, and I would have to create meals based upon what was left over. So if there was baked chicken left over from dinner, then I would have to make a meal based around that. There may not have been enough baked chicken to serve everyone baked chicken, but I may have been able to make something like this, a chicken soup, or chicken and dumplings, or something like that, to be able to stretch the chicken out and make it more. So I learned to be very creative and on my feet when it came to cooking. And so when I got out of that, I came home and I was working as a line chef at the Brass Bass restaurant at the Radisson Hotel, and that was a very upscale restaurant. We did catering, we did Sunday brunches, ice sculptures. I mean, just all the stuff you would see at a very high upscale restaurant and banquet. One of the things that happened to me is, as I was working there, I was looking at our head chef. Our head chef was the first one in, the last one out. He really had no life. I was a young man, about 20, very early 20s. And I'm looking at him, and as I'm working there, I'm not really being paid great money. And I'm looking at our head chef, and he has really like no life other than the kitchen. And I kind of really thought about myself, while I love cooking and it's a passion of mine, is this what I want to do with my life? And I realized and figured out real quickly that wasn't the career path I wanted to stay in. And because of that, I left. But because I left the industry didn't mean the passion of cooking has ever left me. It's always been a part of my life. I love serving people. I love giving back to people. Whenever I have guests here, I cook for them at our church. I cook for church functions, and I'm always being expressive with my cooking. And it is an artistic form and it's expression of your love to others. So when I do something and when I cook, I'm actually giving a part of me to somebody else. And we also do a feeding the homeless ministry in which we cook for the homeless people. And when I cook for the homeless people, I cook for them the same way I will cook for anyone else. There were some churches that were going out feeding the homeless, and they were kind of just feeding them like just the leftover whatevers. And I never did that. Our church never did that. We always cared for them in the same manner. You know, I was making fettuccine Alfredo for the homeless. I was cooking, you know, real meals for them, just like I would cook for anyone else. And we gained a reputation that when our church comes around, they come flocking because they know that they're going to get a real home cooked meal rather than just pizza and, you know, or just whatever was left over, you know, was in someone's refrigerator for a while. So that's just a little bit about me. A little bit about me. Let me clean this up so I can get my. Hope this is giving you just a little more perspective into myself or into us. I didn't really know exactly what to expect everything with this show, but that is looking good. That is looking wonderful. I'm just gonna put the lid on that for a second. Let me see if there's any questions here. Loki 707 says she was stationed at Lowry in Denver and Barksdale in Louisiana for most of your time. Okay, awesome. Thank you for your service. Thank you, Loki. And am I assuming that that's also Navy? I've never been to Denver or Louisiana, and I don't remember any. Well, it must be because you never went overseas. They wouldn't let you go. Yeah, I went. Here's a funny part about my overseas experience. The very first, as soon as I came out of A school, I went to boot camp in San Diego, California. I went to A school in San Diego, California, and then I was sent to Norfolk, Virginia. I get to Norfolk, Virginia base, naval base, and the very first, I think, as soon as I arrived at my ship, I was on the USS Guam, LPH-9. It was an amphibious ship. We carried Marines and helicopters. We were like a helicopter platform, pretty much like a aircraft carrier, but a smaller version of an aircraft carrier. But we were a landing platform for helicopters instead of regular aircraft. And so as soon as I got to my ship, we went out probably within 5 days. So it was a shock to me because here I come straight out of boot camp and A school, training school, and get to my first duty assignment. There are some people, like Loki said, who were in for their whole term and never even went out overseas. Well, I did 2 deployments because I was so lucky that as soon as I got to my duty station and to my ship, I was gone within the first few days of being on my ship. And so we went out. We were, there was sometimes we were out 45 days without seeing land. There were a lot of different conflicts going on right at that point. There were some things in Yugoslavia going on. So we were in that area. I was able to travel the world and see so many cultures, eat so many foods. I really wish that cell phones were there at the time and I could have captured so much of the places that I saw. But I've been to England, France, Spain, Israel, Turkey, Kenya, Mombasa, Kenya, and then within many of those countries, been to multiple places within those countries as well. And so we Crete, Greece, Cuba, well, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, that's just really a base is all we saw, but I was technically in Cuba. But I just saw so much, and so the experience was so great for myself and helped develop me as well. So, okay. Well, I said you didn't have to wait for the dumplings, but probably they're going to be done in a little bit. So you might as well stand by. You might as well stand by. You know what? I'm going to put my countertop back up because that's my presentation. And let's see. I'm going to put my mat back up. In fact, my mat needs a wipe down, so let me get that going. What are your favorite foods? Put in your chat your favorite food. Whether it's something I can cook or not, whether it's something you want to see cooked or not, what's your favorite food to eat, period? Or what's your favorite dish to eat, period? What is your favorite dish? Your favorite food? Put it in the chat box. Your favorite dish. I love, man, there's so many different types of food that I really love, and I don't know that I can pick one. There's a recipe I already have out there for pernil, for meats. It's that roasted pork, and that's a treat that we have often in Hispanic cooking, and a lot of holidays. Instead of like hams, that's our ham in our home. That pernil. That's what we associate with the holidays. My mother, as I stated, she's Puerto Rican, and my father is Dominican, from the Dominican Republic. So I have that as my background, but I was raised here in the States, and so I have that background. I associate with all of that. So let me see. Got some chicken parm. Fighting Irish says chicken parm with noodles. You know what, Fighting Irish? Chicken parm is one that I want to make, and I already have that on my list of things that I'm getting ready to cook. So chicken parm, yeah. Mrs. Smith, steak and potatoes with salad before and a Coke. All right. I stopped with Coke, but I like steak and potatoes and salad as well. Steak and cheese sandwich. Steak and cheese sandwich. Okay. Now you're talking about when you say steak and cheese sandwich. See, I'm in the area, in the Philadelphia metro area here, and we talk about cheesesteaks here. I've been a lot of places around the country, and they claim cheesesteaks. Well, I remember when I was in Philadelphia. I mean in Norfolk, Virginia. And I went to a place, and they said they had cheesesteaks, and that was the most disappointing thing I've ever seen in my life. And that was no cheesesteak at all that I've ever seen. But okay, Freedom saying yeah, Philly cheesesteaks. Okay, we're gonna do that here too. I'm gonna show y'all how to make real Philly cheesesteaks right at home. You need some key ingredients. First of all, the right type of roll, all right, and then the right type of meat. Throw the sandwich stuff out, all right? I mean, those are good, every now and then, but that's not a Philly cheesesteak, all right? And but we'll that's to be continued. So you just stay tuned for that, all right? All right, something that I always say, what you want to do when you're cooking is taste. Oh, I'm keeping y'all in suspense. I'm gonna leave the camera over there. I'm leaving the camera over there for a little bit. Yeah. I'm gonna leave y'all in suspense. This is looking good. Gotta taste my dumpling now. Mm. Mm. Make you want to dance. Make you want to dance. Okay. Aaliyah, getting ready to plate, Leah. Getting ready to plate. Yeah. This chicken and dumpling is wonderful. Tastes great. Tastes great. Man, I wish y'all was close by. Wish y'all could taste. You know, that's what Apple needs to do. Apple needs to make smell-o-vision, taste-o-vision, you know, do all that kind of stuff so that somehow, you know, not only can you see it, but you can taste it. Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't that be wonderful? All right, I need you to take this and let me see if I can get a nice, better ladle. Remind me, I need to get a real ladle instead of these just serving spoons, because it helps to present it better with stuff like this. Helps better with a nice little ladle. Should I put something on the background here? That's good. That's good. I think that'll work. Where's my pot holder? Put it on that side there, and that one. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all a little sneak peek. I'm gonna give y'all a sneak peek. I'm gonna give y'all the sneak peek. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Uh-oh. I'm not telling you too much information, Freedom. Not too much information, brother. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. Look at that. Now, like I said, you could actually, if you wanted to get this sauce thicker, you could. I don't necessarily want it thicker. That's fine for me. But some people like it real thick. But oh my goodness, those dumplings. All right, let's get this. Let's get the money shot. We're gonna get the money shot. We gotta get the money shot for the video. I'm not the money shot. I am not the money shot. Hold on. Hold on. Why did it turn around? There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Boom. Yeah, it will thicken a little bit as it cools. But, yeah. Look at that. Oh, man. I'm going to give you guys a quick. See, that's why I need a ladle. I need a ladle. I need a ladle. I know I do. I'm going to put dumplings on the top. Where my dumplings at? Come on, dumplings. I'm going to put some dumplings on the top just to garnish it. You know what? I'm also going to put a little bit of, put some carrots in there. See, people eat with their eyes. People eat with their eyes. So when I'm doing this show, I'm very cognizant of the fact that people do that. So I want to make sure that I'm making this in an appealing way. Because you can't taste it. Unfortunately, you can't taste it. All you can do is look at it right now. And so, because all you can do is look at it. Leah, back up off that a little bit. All right. Because all you can do is look at it. That's all you're going to get. There you go. Now, do you guys add anything to your? I mean, some people like crackers and things of that nature. Um, uh-oh. Am I back? Am I back? Hit refresh. I see somebody's on. Okay, I'm back. Just hit refresh or something. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. But hey, look, guys. I'm going to just end out right here. We're going to end out right here. Glad to have you in my kitchen. Glad to have you as part of the show. Glad to have you as part of my channel. So thankful for your participation. Take a look. Get ready for the video. This video is going to come out. This is my next step. Is going to be editing the video. But of course, before we do that, I gotta get the shot. Gotta get the shot. The yummy shot. And oh man, yes. Or you want to get the shot? Mm. Got a little carrot. You know what? Let me put a little carrot on there too. I got some carrot. Got some chicken and a dumpling on there. Mmm. Thanks for joining with us. I really wish you could taste. I really wish you could taste this. Till next time, Domingo at Real Home Cookin. Oh yeah, that's my real name too. All right, take care, y'all. God bless.